Good morning, Minnesota DFLers, and welcome to the DFL Daily. My name is Richard Carlbaum. I'm the chair of the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party. We're here Monday through Friday at 10:45 sharp to give you the message and the action and the tools to be empowered in this moment. Okay, folks, I just want to recap a couple record-breaking events we had this weekend. We really packed a lot in the last 2 weeks. We obviously last weekend had our state convention in which we got all of our awesome endorsed candidates. Then this last weekend, Friday night, we had the 14th annual Humphrey Mondale dinner. Folks, we sold it out. 1,800 people, 180 tables. My table had an 11 top. I don't know about you all, but we really packed them and crammed them in as much as we could. We raised over $1 million. At one point in the evening, we had a fund, a need program, where on stage I asked people to give, and our goal was 100,000. I think we got to about 85,000, which is amazing. Probably the most we ever raised in that period. This is one of the most successful Humphrey Mondale dinners we've ever had. Big thanks to Governor Andy Beshear, who gave a fantastic keynote speech. We heard from Governor Walz. We had Governor Dayton in the house. Obviously, we had Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan in the house, our endorsed candidate for U.S. Senate. It was really a fun evening. So thank you to everybody who made the trip and who made that evening a huge success. And then, as you're tracking, we had 609 volunteers signed up to door knock this weekend. This is like September, October level of volunteer engagement. We've never seen this kind of volunteer engagement this early in the cycle. To have this the first weekend in June broke records. It was unbelievable. And here's a little fact nugget that I love. We knocked on more doors in Otsego yesterday on Sunday in a single day than we did in all of 2024. Take that in for a second. We knocked on more doors in the city of Otsego yesterday in a single day than we did in all of 2024. Joey Smythe organized that door knock. He's our candidate up there in 30A. Fantastic job. Thank you so much. That is how we're going to win really tough races up and down the ballot, is by connecting with voters at the door. Thank you to everyone who helped us break these records this weekend. I just want to say Jeff Strand's on the call. I saw you door knocking this weekend. Melissa Caulfield, you're on the call. You helped launch the 43 door knock. Just really everybody who rolled up your sleeves to help out. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's what gives me hope. All of this action by you, the volunteers of this party, driving us forward. So congratulations, you own these record-breaking events this weekend. So looking ahead, we have some upcoming events. We have Wednesday. There's a Meet Your Candidates event in Elk River at 6 p.m. Leah Temple, Joey Smythe, and Keenan Gentry. There's a coffee and conversation event also on Wednesday with Keenan Gentry at 11 a.m. And of course, monthly DFL meetings all across the state. You can go to dfl.org/events to find an event near you so that you can plug in and engage. All right, this week, our message memo this week is talking about the fact that the DFL has a strong slate of candidates and the GOP's slate is just simply weak. It's actually pathetic in my estimation. The Minnesota DFL has an incredible slate of candidates from governor to every single state house and state senate race. And here's some very exciting news. For the first time in history, I shared this on Friday night. For the first time in history, DFLers are running someone in every single House and Senate district in Minnesota. All 201 seats will be contested. That's the first time it's ever happened in the history of our party. Meanwhile, the GOP has the smallest slate of candidates filed to run for office since Nixon resigned following the Watergate scandal. The DFL has endorsed seasoned public servants, farmers, mechanics, veterans, teachers, doctors, and firefighters who reflect who Minnesotans are from every corner of the state. When Donald Trump sent masked ICE agents to Minnesota to try to scare us into submission, but every time we got knocked down, more Minnesotans rallied together to build together, and now they're running for office. Minnesota's stronger than ever, and our slate of candidates is stronger than ever as well. So here's some proof points, so some little factoids that you can carry around in your back pocket and share this information with your family and friends. As I said, 201 legislative races have a DFL running in that seat, for that seat. That's every single one. Never happened before. Back in 1974, the last time the Republicans had candidate recruitment this low, it was that post-Nixon Watergate situation. And we, of course, Democrats swept the election. And then looking at 42B, here's a little fact: a suburban House district that was Republican stronghold when Representative Ginny Cleavorn flipped it in 2018. Ginny Cleavorn, one of the most prolific door knockers in our entire party, doesn't have an opponent. I talked to her on Friday night and I said, Representative Cleavorn, they have let you loose. Like the Republicans have given up on her district, and now she's going to go door knock the heck out of so many other House districts to make sure that we win these close races. And of course, we're charging towards 100,000 doors knocked by the end of June. That's 100,000 more doors than at this point in 2024. At this point in 2024, we hadn't knocked on a single door. All right. So here's some quotes that back up our message memo this week. This is from House DFL leader Zach Stevenson. Quote, Minnesotans from all across the state are fed up and they're angry and they're ready for a change and they are leaping at the chance to run for office. Earlier this year, I think probably, I'm guessing it was like late January, early February, I was talking with House DFL leader Zach Stevenson, and we were remarking on how good candidate recruitment has been. Even last summer, in June of 2025, we were noticing that people were already stepping up and asking questions about what it takes to run for the state house. And so that's what led to this great success. And then, of course, I want to close with this quote. This is the quote that we were playing last week from CBS News. Quote, the convention chaos on the Republican side was matched by efficiency and a show of force on the DFL side. That is what you all created. Thank you for all of your incredible hard work. All right, now let's turn this into action. Here are the actions we want you to take this week. We're going to drop these in the chat as we have a few options. First of all, follow our endorsed candidates on social media. Connor's going to drop the message memo, as we do each Monday, into the chat. But in addition to that, we're going to give you some of these other links so that you can share graphics with your networks. We win by listening to our neighbors. So we're going to give you a bunch of opportunities. You can sign up for at least one event this week to help us charge past our 100,000 doors goal by the end of June. Then, of course, share your story with the DFL. Always submitting your stories to us is helpful. Our story bank is really critical to how we actually put voice and lift up authentic voices within our party about what people are experiencing. We're going to invite you to share your why. We received hundreds of replies already, both online and at the state convention. Many of you filled out the blue wave hearts with your why, but it's not too late. Tell us what makes you show up to do this work each and every day. And then finally, we want you to sign up for DFL Amplified. This is our dispersed network of communicators throughout the state that helps us really respond quickly when news is breaking. As you recall, when we found out that the GOP honored Derek Chauvin with a moment of silence at their convention, we were able to pump out the New York Times article, and by the next day, it was the most widely shared article on the New York Times. That's because of DFL Amplify and the work that you all do. Thank you so much for your time today. That's it. That's our message memo for the week. Now you have the message, the action, and the tools to be empowered. Thanks for everybody. Have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. We have 148 days until the November 3rd midterm election. Let's go win this thing. Thanks, everybody.